Hey, welcome. It's Brian, and this is Guitar Solo Reactions. And today we're back with NUNO Bettencourt and, of course, Extreme. They're doing their song "The Other Side of the Rainbow." And in a recent interview with Rick Beato, NUNO said this song and the guitar solo in it are his favorite off the new record, which I believe is called Six. And that should be out soon, in the next couple of days, if not today. So, with all that said, let's check out Extreme doing their song "The Other Side of the Rainbow," featuring, of course, today's greatest guitar player, NUNO Bettencourt. Beautiful playing, and
So you're not gonna fall again. Heart's still recovering. Happy ever after ends.
I've never had a 12 string. I haven't had a ton of acoustic guitars, but I've definitely never had a 12 string. And whenever I hear one, I'm always fascinated with how just the strings being as close as perfect in tune as possible, but you get kind of that natural kind of chorusing effect over the whole set of 12 strings. And it just lends to a really great, lush sounding guitar sound, specifically for acoustic. So far, kind of an interesting departure. The previous three videos I've done, obviously Rise, Rebel, and there's one more that I'm blanking on, were all pretty hard rock tunes with lots of burning guitar solos. So maybe this one picks up. We'll find out.
You're not gonna try and pretend. It's better to have love than lost, and never to have love at all. Maybe take a chance on me, baby. You might think that I'm crazy. Follow me, maybe we could find the other side of the rainbow. Come with me, don't just say no. No regret, let your heart go. I believe maybe we could find our faith in love again. Yeah, you heard it all before. Yeah, you don't believe in love anymore. No, no, no. Oh, your fairy tale has left you. Yeah, I left you with no reason to rhyme.
The vocals were really dry right there. That's kind of interesting that they weren't as expansive, meaning like having like ambience of the room or even reverb on them or something. They went really dry. So kind of a cool mixing approach, I guess.
Wanna leave it all behind, keeping it out of sight and out of mind. Maybe take a chance on me, baby. You might think that I'm crazy. Follow me, baby, we could find the other side of the rainbow. Come with me, don't just say no. No regret, let your heart go. I believe, baby, we could find our faith in love again. I've been there before. Love was never more. You're not the only one.
Wow.
Wish upon a star, waiting with a cloud, far behind you.
So that was really cool. That was a kind of a departure, musically speaking. I can't really talk to what just went on, but completely like extending the notes. I don't want to say Queen because Queen would build those kind of vocal harmonies pretty thick, and they kind of allude to that. And I know both Gary and Nuno are super strong singers, obviously, so they could do something like that. And I thought maybe it was going to go there where it built on the voice element, the vocal line as you would say, to the melody and build it up to something really big and thick. And then it just kind of slowly drifted off and actually was even more, I thought, beautiful how they did it, obviously. So. Yeah. So obviously he's using some kind of Washburn guitar there with the his kind of signature headstock, the old Stevens guitar that Washburn bought. I used to go to Stevens Guitar in Seattle, and I remember seeing the original, not the original, but an original of one of the NUNO Bettencourt signatures, or what were to maybe be a signature model. I'm not sure, but it had obviously that kind of cool heel. There was something about the heel of the neck that was kind of almost proprietary or something, or something to that effect. And then it had the headstock that was the kind of like 70s Strat headstock upside down. So obviously he's not using that guitar as my damn point. And it looks like kind of a telly pickup kind of configuration. And another cool point, if you listen to the Rick Beato interview, he was talking about how like Rise and some of these songs featuring his guitar solos have kind of really brought to bear that maybe Nuno is the new Eddie Van Halen. And so he goes on to talk about that quite a bit. But what he specifically talks about as far as effects is that he uses a Phase 90, which was a huge, Eddie Van Halen thing. He uses a Phase 90 all the time, at least in the earlier records. And Nuno, I don't know if it was a homage. I'd have to listen to the interview again, but he found a plug-in and he thought it sounded the best, and he put it on that guitar solo. And I'm not sure if it was kind of a tribute to Eddie or not, but take it however you want. But that was kind of a cool thing that I remembered as I watched the solo with the Phase 90. So there we have it. Kind of a no-nonsense, kind of straight-ahead pop song from Extreme, which they've done in the past, but with a smoking guitar solo, of course, from Nuno, who, by many accounts, has taken the chair of bringing great rock and roll guitar solos back to the forefront. And I completely applaud that, even though I think this was the least favorite of the songs off the newer record that I've done as far as videos. I prefer the heavier stuff, obviously. But with that said, I'm glad they're back. I'm glad they're getting some, acknowledgement. And I'm glad Nuno's getting so much kind of press and just interviews and all of that. It must feel incredible after being in the business for 40 years at least. And to kind of have this kind of, I know to fans, they never went away. Nuno never went away. But for the general, like to me, the people that knew of Extreme but didn't really listen to them, it seemed like they kind of disappeared or whatever. And now they're back full force. So with all that said, hey, thanks for watching. I'm excited to do more off this record. I don't know how many more videos they'll do, but I'll do them if they come out. I'm Brian. And this is Guitar Solo Reactions. Thanks for joining me.